Hi everyone, this is Cat Coloring. Welcome back to my channel and for a very short video. So this is Romantic Country, and as you remember from my flip-throughs and other videos about this book series, the first and the third Romantic Country book is the Japanese editions that I have. And I am planning some color alongs in these books, both the first, the second and the third tale. But then I thought that I have never colored in these, so I have done something that could benefit us all. I have actually tested all of my coloring pencil brands here in this book on this page with the Easter eggs. And as you can see here, I have used 18 different brands because those are the brands I have, and some of them I had completely forgotten that I had actually. And based on these testings here, I can recommend 10 different coloring pencil brands to use in this book. I have unfortunately heard a lot about only 1 or 2 pencil brands working in these books on these pages, but not with this testing I have done, I have to say. So I have tested the Black Widows, the Polychromers, the Prismacolors, the Arctex, the Castle Art pencils, a lot of different Staedtler pencils, and Faber-Castell pencils, and Koh-i-Noor and Arteza. I have tested wax-based pencils and oil-based. Most of my pencils are wax-based, but I have a couple of oil-based. I have also tested watercolor pencils on this page. So if we take a look at the different testings, I will just go through them and then I will tell you what brands work the best. So up here in this corner we have the Black Widow Monarch set, and I tested the Monarch set because it's pastel colors, and I also tested 2 other pastel brands here. So you can see here with the Black Monarch, it was not that easy to lay down the Black Widow pencils here with this Monarch here. I think the pencils, because the Black Widow pencils sharpen to a very sharp point, and I don't think that you should have a extremely sharp point when working in these pages, as I will show you later. But the color came down and it was okay. The Castle Art metallics we have here. I have tested both the Castle Art Soft Touch, the metallics, and the pastel tints here. And the metallics, well, you know my opinion about metallic pencils. They do work best on black paper, black background. So they laid down okay, but it felt a bit waxy when I colored with them. So they are absolutely not one of my favorites. The Castle Art 120 Soft Touch, you may remember from my review that in some coloring books they are extremely difficult to work with, but I have to say 1 or 2 layers and it's completely covered. They absolutely work like a dream in this book on this paper, the Castle Art 120 Soft Touch. So that was a nice and pleasant surprise for me, because there are so many beautiful colors in the Castle Art set, so I have been planning to use them more often, and I can in this book. The Castle Art pastel tints, they were actually also very nice to work with here, I have to say. If we move on, I have a lot of Staedtler pencils here. The Staedtler Ergosoft, Staedtler Norris, I couldn't remember I had them, but I actually do. The Staedtler Pastel pencils, the normal coloring pencils from Staedtler, and down here, the Staedtler Design Journey. Those are my favorite pencils of the Staedtler pencils, I have to say. So if we look at the Staedtler Ergosoft, it felt, I won't say scratchy, but these pencils also sharpen to a very sharp point, and it's not something that I would recommend, because look here on the other page, you can clearly see here that the Staedtler pencils I have used here, they go through the paper to the other side. So it's difficult to use these pencils. Actually, also the pastel tints did that. They lay down the color beautifully, but I don't like it that they go down this way here on the other side. The Staedtler pastel pencils did not go through, so it's possible to use these, but the Staedtler Norris and Staedtler Ergosoft, I would not use them on this paper. Also, the Easter egg collection sign I have colored here with the Staedtler normal coloring pencils. You can see here that it also, some of it went through with the pressure, so I would also not recommend these. The Staedtler Design Journey unfortunately also got a bit through because you had to press harder to get the color down. So in all, I actually don't recommend using the Staedtler pencils in this book on this paper. The Artex pencils, one of my newest coloring pencils, worked like an absolute dream, like the Castle Art Soft Touch. Also, the Koh-i-Noor Polycolor pencils, oil-based, worked beautifully and very easily on these pages. Actually, they were easier to lay down than the polychromos that I have here, but the polychromos also works, I think. The Prismacolor works like a dream, but well, they work on most paper. Here I have the Caran d'Ache Luminance, and they were also much easier to color with than I had anticipated. So this paper also works for the Caran d'Ache pencils. Here I have the Faber-Castell Color Grip. Those are actually quite cheap coloring pencils. I know, for I have bought them for my children when they started in school some years ago, and I actually had also bought a set for myself, and I had completely forgotten I had them, and they worked like an absolute dream. And if I have to be honest, the polychromos and this cheaper, much cheaper set of Color Grip, they actually work better than the polychromos in this book on this paper. Then we have the watercolor pencils, Derwent Inktense and Faber-Castell Watercolor, and I will not recommend Faber-Castell Watercolor here. This is the only place that some of the color actually bled through here, because I had problems laying the color down and I had to use too much water, so I will not recommend using those on this paper. The Derwent Inktense, I had a little bit here, you can see a little wrinkle here, but otherwise they worked very, very good in this book on this paper. I had an accident here and I used a little bit more water here, and that's why it's a bit wrinkled here. But the paper can take, if you don't overuse the water, it can take water with watercolor pencils. So the Derwent Inktense are actually quite good here in this book. And also I tested my Arteza triangular grip pencils, and they were also quite easy to lay down. Oh, I'm very, very sorry about that noise. That was my dog snoring. Again. Well, so you can see here that these coloring pencils work in different ways. I think that the problem with the Staedtler, apart from being too hard on the paper, is also that they felt quite waxy when I put the color down, and I didn't like that feeling. So my recommendation for using pencil brands in Romantic Country is the Artex pencils, Arteza Triangular Grip, Prismacolors, Koh-i-Noors, Faber-Castell Color Grip, Castle Arts Soft Touch, Derwent Inktense, Faber-Castell Polychromos, and if you want to use pastel colors, the Castle Art were the ones working the best on this paper, and then the Caran d'Ache Luminance. So that was a bit of a service information from me to you. I hope to see you in my color alongs in this book. Have a lovely Easter and a nice day. Happy coloring. Bye.